Yeah,
Deborah actually, she reached out to me a while ago about coming and sharing music here, and has made it happen for us. She's really stayed in good communication with me and said, I really want to do this. And I said, hey, I really don't normally do Wednesday night events. That's not something I'm used to doing, but I'll do it. And she says, hey, she said, I'll get a group together if you'll come. And she did. Look at this. What a blessing. It's a Wednesday night and this church is full. And that is something I can tell you is rare in music mission and music ministry. So to all of you who came, thank you to Deborah for arranging it and making it happen. Thank you. It is a blessing. We do go back quite a ways, back to Grand Rapids Central many, many years ago. And Deborah and Marty are not people you forget. And those of you who know them know that. And so it's nice to be all the way down here where it's warm-ish and seeing them. I'm going to sing some songs tonight. Her and I were kind of talking a little bit about the music in the program. Normally I would give typically what I do when I do a consultation is about a 1.5 hour program. It's a theme based on us as God's children finding our purpose in our lives. But tonight, that concert program actually is a little heavy, but tonight, since we're about to celebrate the New Year, and we are just outside of the Christmas season, her and I agreed that maybe I could do a couple Christmas songs if no one minded, and just share some songs that were just special to me. So there's not any particular theme to this. The theme is always Jesus, always. But these are songs that are special to me. And normally I sing songs that are special and fit the theme. In this case, they just mean something to me, and they've had an impact on my life at different times in my life. And so that's what I'm going to share tonight. It's just some of my favorites, and so you'll get a glimpse into my heart, my wife's heart, and into the heart of God. So I'm going to start by singing a song that was actually a favorite of my mom's. Now, some of you probably have different musical tastes that are influenced by your childhood and growing up. I remember growing up that my mom used to listen to all kinds of music, and my love for music came from her mostly. Interestingly enough, when she became a Christian, her tastes in music, of course, made an adjustment. They do. Just because there's certain things you probably don't listen to anymore, and there's certain things that you prefer to listen to. And so I remember her, though, saying that there's a song that she did listen to during her pre-Christian days that when she became a Christian, it was still one of her favorites. That's because there was a time period, some of you will know this and remember this, when a lot of Christian songs with Christian lyrics charted. They reached the top of the charts. Some of you probably remember this song. I don't know the official title of it, but it's the song based on Ecclesiastes, to everything turn, turn, there's a season, turn, turn. There's another one by the rivers of Babylon, where we came down and we remembered Zion. I don't know if you remember that song. There's another one that charted that was based on a biblical account of the Exodus. Another song that did top the charts was a song that Cat Stevens did, Morning Has Broken. And a lot of you can remember his version of that song. It's very well done. And my mom had a very special place in her heart for that song. So when I went into Gaither Studios and I recorded my first album, my very first CD, I have 4, but this was my first one. This was back in 2002. She said to me, she says, you know, I'd love it if you recorded Morning Has Broken. And so we did. And the musicians that were there playing for the album, they were of an age group that was familiar with the Cat Stevens version, and so you can hear in this Gaither, this is a Gaither custom track that was made for me with live musicians. You can hear the music in this, and you can hear them almost being influenced a little bit by that version. But as I sing this, I celebrate what it might be like in heaven when the real morning has broken. I celebrate the memories I have with Mom and her teaching me music. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, the spring, fresh from the earth. Sweet the rain's new falls, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Now mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. It's a good song with a lot of good memories for me. Occasionally I get asked to sing for weddings. Now, weddings are difficult to sing for, and the reason is because when I'm here with you, this is kind of a nice intimate setting. I can just share music, and it's almost like a house concert, and I can just sing songs that I love. You listen to them, and we're kind of doing it together as a family. I feel safe, and it's nice. This is my favorite thing to do. When you're asked to sing for a wedding, there's a lot of pressure. You have one chance to get it perfectly right, don't you? Because if they do it right, they're only going to get married once. So early on, I realized that weddings were just not really for me. I would rather be much more relaxed than to go through the stress of a wedding. So a couple summers ago, when my friend Carly called me and said, "Hey, Eric and I are getting married. We want you to sing for our wedding." I thought, well, this is a good opportunity for me to exercise my independence here and say that I'm not going to be able to sing for her wedding. Now, I told her, I said, "Carly, Heather and I will be there to support you and Eric. We're very happy for you both. We're friends with you both. But it's just, I have to draw a line somewhere, and I just can't sing for any more weddings. It just takes too much out of me." And so we had that conversation, and she was disappointed, but she understood and hung up the phone, and I thought, okay, well, all is well. This is good. About a week later, I get a call from her fiance, and Eric calls me and he says, "No, Scott, I know Carly said she'd love to have you sing at the wedding, and I would too." And I said, "Eric, you know, I kind of gave him the same spiel that I gave his fiance." And he says, "Well, I understand that, I get that." And I said, I can't learn 3 new songs. They want me to learn 3 songs I've never heard of. They want me to sing a duet with Eric's sister, who I'd never met in my life, who was in a different state. And so he understood, got off the phone. I was thankful that, you know, when you're a people pleaser, it's hard to say no. But a week later, I get a call from Carly's mom. So I ended up singing for the wedding. And the songs that I ended up singing were actually all turned out very beautiful. She chose some really, really great songs, and the duet worked out amazingly. The song that I'm about to sing for you now, though, was the song that I sang for the processional. Now, if there's a moment that you cannot make a mistake, it's during the processional. Dad and daughter are walking down the aisle. You can't make a mistake. The wedding is being held in a military chapel. It's a very large military chapel in Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania. Her brother is a United States Marine, and he's in full dress uniform, full dress, standing in the front row, not intimidating at all. I had practiced this song hundreds of times. I wanted to get the timing right. I had timed it during dress rehearsal so that as Carly and her dad walked down the aisle, I'd begin the song. As they reached the foot of the stairs, I would conclude it. The moment finally comes. I have bridesmaids standing right behind me. It was a kind of a tight platform. It was very hot that summer. The chapel did not have air conditioning. 2 of those bridesmaids were very pregnant. One of the grooms, when he sees that I'm really nervous about this wedding, and he, before the wedding started, he actually came up to me just to break the ice and to kind of relax us all a little bit. He said, "Hey, if anything happens, you're the closest person." Not funny at all, because she ended up having her baby 10 hours after that wedding. So we thought it was funny at the time, but no, man. The moment finally comes, though, and the doors open, and Carly and her dad are standing there. And it takes your breath away. It doesn't matter how many weddings you go to, it's just a beautiful moment. And I begin to play and sing the song. And as I sing and I play, everyone stands and gives honor to the bride. Dad is walking proud as a peacock. I'm timing my cadence perfectly so that the song will end appropriately. Carly's crying. It's kind of a cool moment. They get to the foot of the stairs. I am playing the last chords of the song. I'm concluding it. Thankful that finally I'm done with the last wedding I'll ever do. And Carly and her dad turned to each other. This was completely impromptu. They just began to hug. And, he's saying goodbye to his only girl. And I don't know what that's like, but someday if I find out, I'll probably be able to feel his pain a little more. It was a very special moment. And we were all frozen in time while they were doing that. Everyone was standing and watching, and they were hugging, and I was sitting here playing, and everybody was frozen in time except me, because I was running out of song. I knew that I couldn't just stop playing, because with that awkward silence after this music, and it would just kind of ruin what was going on right there. It would draw a line in the ambiance. And as a musician, sometimes you have to kind of know when music is nice to fill dead space or when it's not. And I could tell at this moment I needed to keep the guitar playing going. So I did. I made up a line, and I sang it. And that's all I could come up with was one line. And they're still hugging. And so I thought, boy, I did not plan for this. So I'll just hum and play the guitar quietly. And I began to hum and I began to play. And they're still hugging. And I'm not a guitarist. This is a gift from my wife. I'm still kind of teaching myself to play it. It's a learning process along the way. And so my fingers don't have that strength to continue to play for hours on end. And so I'm starting, my fingers are cramping up. And they're still hugging and I'm panicking. So I don't do weddings. I remember saying that in my head. And finally, after an eternity, the groom walks down the stairs. He gently pulls them apart. And he takes his bride and he retrieves his bride and takes her up the stairs. And they commence the wedding. I'll never forget that moment. The song I was singing was Love Never Fails. That's the title of the song, Love Never Fails. There's a perfect example right in front of me, right in front of my eyes of a father and his daughter and a love, an eternal love between the two of them. I began to think about my own love. I began to think about the love of Christ. Does His love ever fail us? Does human love sometimes fail us? Of course it does. If we could learn to love like Jesus, we could learn to love with the love that never fails. That's a lifelong battle for me. That's a prayer that I'm going to pray till the day I die. Help me to learn to love like you, with a love that never fails. Love is not proud. Love does not boast. Love, after all, matters the most. And love does not run. Love does not hide. Love does not keep locked inside. not cease at the end of time, and love will protect. Love always hopes, yeah. Love still believes when you don't. And love is the arms that are holding you. Oh, love never fails you. And my heart won't make a sound when I can't turn back around. No, when the sky is falling down. Oh, nothing is greater than this. No, nothing is greater than this. 'Cause love is right here. Love is alive. Love is the way, the truth, the life. And love is the river that flows through. Love is the arms that are holding you. And love is the place you will fly to. Oh, love never fails, no love never fails, no love never fails you. This is a Christmas song that I love to sing. And it might be just a manly thing, I don't know. My wife hates this song. She does. This is her least favorite Christmas song in the world. And it's my favorite. It's probably the only thing we disagree on. But I'm going to sing it for you tonight. It's the song I used to sing growing up as a kid. I loved it. And it's just a simple song. But I love it. I don't even know that it makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think there's any kind of biblical account to support the message in this song. But I just love it. It's probably just because I'm a man. So, honey, if you don't mind. That's cute, this one. Bless her heart. Told me, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-rum-pum-pum. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum. Fit to give a king, pa-rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum-pum, rum-pum-pum. my drum for him, I play my best for him, and then he smiled at me, me and my drum. Special thanks to my wife for letting me do that song. Another Christmas song that I heard once sung and made a special impact on me was the song I'm going to share now. It's entitled Labor of Love. Now, normally I sing this song as a duet, but tonight it's just going to be me sharing this. Heather and I, as you know already, have been married for 5 years. When we got married, we decided we wanted to be on the 5-year plan when it came to kids. So, of course, that's expired, and we hope at some point we are graced with the blessing of children. As our minds and our focus in our lives, even in how we lay out our bus, how that's shifted as we contemplate having kids has made this song more special to me, because it talks about the night that Jesus was born, and we hear a lot of songs about that. One of our favorites, one of my favorites, of course, is Silent Night. But those of you who are mothers, you know that in reality that may not have been that much of a silent night that first night. It's a woman who was giving birth in a barn with animals. And I know we have a sanitized version of what that might have been like, but Mary was a real human being. Jesus was a real baby. And Joseph was a real worried dad. And so as I sing this song, those of you who are mothers, I think this is a testament to you and what it is like to be a mom. Those of you who are dads, it's a testament to the strength that you bring to your family. Those of us who don't have kids yet, it's a reminder that maybe it wasn't a silent night. It was not a silent night. There was blood on the ground, and you could hear a woman cry in the alleyways that night, on the streets of David's town. And the stable was not clean, the cobblestones were cold, but little Mary, full of grace, with the tears upon her face, had no mother's hand to hold. Every beat of her beautiful heart was a labor of love. Noble Joseph by her side, the streets of David's town.